But hey, let's get into it. I think I've got an hour, and this is a topic that I could speak about all day. So I'm super excited to get into it. And I want this session to be really interactive as well. So if anyone has any questions, ask them throughout. It just makes it more enjoyable experience for everyone there. All right. So off the bat, Fitness Education Online. That's what I do. I'm the founder and director. Who's heard of us before? If everyone just comment in the chat and just say yes or no, have you heard of Fitness Education Online? If you haven't, we're one of the largest providers of CEC courses in Australia. We've got something like 40 registered courses. You can check them all out there. And our most popular course is actually our Bootcamp course. I'll tell you a little bit about this later in the thing, but this is like our bread and butter. So I'm super excited to speak about that. We've also got one of the largest Facebook groups in the world for fitness professionals. Who's in that group? Comment yes or no down below and let me know if you're in that group. If you're not in that group, I'll put the link down in the chat in a second. And also all members of that group get a free copy of one of our courses, our Bootcamp games. So if you want a copy of that course, just jump in the Facebook group. You can leave the group after if you don't like it, but you get the free course there. So I'll put the link down in the chat. Everyone feel free to join that group. It's a cool group anyway, and you get a copy of the free Bootcamp Games course as well. The link's just in the chat if you want to join in there. A little bit about myself. So I used to run a bootcamp. Before I got into the education side of things, I used to run a bootcamp, and I was at a franchise. This franchise had something like 75 locations across Australia, and you were actually ranked on how good you were. So if you were the best, you were ranked number 1. If you were the worst, you were ranked 75th. Now, what do you guys think I was ranked when starting off? Type it in the chat. Everyone take a guess. What do you think I was ranked? 1 being the best, 75 being the worst. When starting off, I'll preface that. So 73, 5, 1. I wish Corelli won. 75. Yeah, everyone's all over the place. Well, most of you have got it. All right. I was ranked 75. I was dead last. Right. And I knew 74. 74 was not a good trainer. It's like there were all these good trainers. Like I was ranked 75th. And also, here's the other thing as well, right? This wasn't like a imposter syndrome thing. I didn't think I was the worst trainer there. It was statistically proven. You would log on the dashboard and it would show you like a pie chart of where you were ranked. You know you suck when there's a pie chart telling you how bad you were, right? And I had to have a meeting with the franchise owner off the bat. And they were, well, you know, after the end of the year or whatever it was. And they were like, Jono, you're coming 75th out of 75. What's going on? And I was like, oh, it's not my fault. You know, it's the competition. You know, there's so much competition in my area, and there's online trainers and 24-hour gyms and $5 gyms, and every second person's a personal trainer, and Herbalife and free boot camps. And I basically came up with every single excuse in the book. I made up a few as well, probably blame the government, COVID, whatever I could come up with, right? And I'll never forget this. Franchise owners were like, all right, Jono, we got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is as a bootcamp instructor, you suck. The bad news is as a bootcamp instructor, you suck. You're coming 75th. You've seen the pie chart. The good news is you can do something about it, because at the moment, you're sitting there blaming everybody else but yourself. And they went through my excuses. They were like, Jono, like, you know, you're blaming the competition. Is it the competition's fault that you suck? Or is it your fault that you haven't done enough to be better than the competition? You know, what courses have you done? What conferences have you been to? And I was like, well, I go to Filex every year. And they're like, Jono, that's like the bare minimum. You know, like trainers have to do that just to get their CECs. Like, of course, if you do the bare minimum, you're going to be down the bottom. They're like, okay, what about your sales and your marketing? You know, you were blaming us and saying that, you know, we weren't doing enough marketing for you. You know, what are you doing marketing wise? Or you know, what business coaches have you spoken to? What sales books have you read? And I was like, oh, I'm going to do that as well. And they even got me on the location because I was saying, oh, you know, I'm in Sydney. It rains in Sydney. It's wet. You know, you can't run a business in Sydney. Can't run a bootcamp in Sydney. They were like, Jono, you can hire out like a school hall or a church hall for $20. You can solve your biggest problem for $20, but you're sitting here blaming everyone else but yourself. And I was like, that's a good point. They were like, look, your position's safe. What we want you to do for the next 12 months is just take some responsibility. Stop blaming everybody else. And if something's an issue, do something about it. And I took that on board, and I was like, all right, I'll go and do some courses, did a lot of CEC courses. And here's the thing I realized with, this is why I'm so passionate about CEC courses now and why I run a CEC course business, is they've changed my life. Because I used to look at courses as an expense. Oh, I've got to go and pay money and do this course. But what I realized at this stage is every course that I did, it actually grew my boot camp. So it was kind of like whatever money I spend on a course, I made more than that back. And then on top of that, I'd read books, I'd watch YouTube videos, I'd attend other instructors' sessions. And here's the biggest tip I found as well on how to be a good instructor. I'd love to get everyone's opinion here. I learned heaps during this stage of my life, going to other instructors' sessions, but not even necessarily just bootcamp sessions. Going to other instructors that are really good at pump and RPM and yoga and boxing. And I would learn heaps from those instructors there. Would everyone agree with that as well? You can probably learn more from instructors that do a different thing to you because you can see those common traits that other people, that other good instructors have. Yeah, exactly. Cool. But anyway, long story short, 12 months later, went back to this same conference with the rankings. Now take a guess what do you think I was ranked? Everyone type it down in the chat box. Went from 75, yeah, there we go, right? 12 months later, went to number 1. Built my bootcamp to 100 clients and had 100% retention rate. So all of those 100 clients would come back and do another bootcamp. All right. 2 years after that, I was still number 1 in the franchise. Opened up a second location. Now had 150 clients. 3 years after that, put together a CEC course. Now we've had thousands of trainers take that course. We've got hundreds of 5-star reviews. And if you have a look at a few of them here, here's Jess. Her bootcamp went from a handful to 26. Tracy did the course. She had 21 people or 23 people come up for her info session, 22 people sign up. Here's Jane, had 25 people come to her first boot camp. So moral of the story is that these strategies that we've got in these courses work. And that's what I want to cover today. And if I had to put it down to 3 things, it's going to be these 3. And we'll cover all of them today. It's your offer, your product, and your sales and marketing. Now, I want to spend about even time on all of these, but let me get a bit of feedback from people watching in the chat. Out of those 3, which one interests you the most, or which one would you like me to spend the most time on? Your offer, or just type a number, 1, 2, or 3. So 1 is your offer, 2 is your product, 3 is your sales and marketing. So what have we got? Simon says 2, Sean says 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, product. Okay, cool. So it looks like it's 1 again. All right, cool. So it's a complete mix. So perfect. I'm going to spend about an even amount anyway. So it's going to work out well. Now, let's start with the offer. All right. And I'm going to speak specifically about, I'm just going to use the word boot camp, but that covers boot camp, group training, all of these things here, right? Here's what most trainers do when they're starting off running a boot camp. This is what their offer is. It's $10 a session, meet me at the park. That's pretty much it. Right? Or it might be, get a 10-pack for $90. That's not a great offer, right? It sounds more like a drug deal than anything. Meet me at the park with $90. It's not the greatest offer. Here's what I recommend doing, and I'll spend a bit of time on this. I'm going to run through it quickly, and then we'll go into more detail. So that's option number 1. Let me give you another option here. Option number 2, Jono's 12-week challenge. It's $50 a week. You get access to 6 sessions a week. You also get a home workout program. You also get a gym workout program. You also get my basic nutrition guidelines, which includes things like how to eat healthy on a budget or how to eat healthy when going out. You get my clean eating recipe ebook. You get my clean eating smoothie and shake ebook. You also get my at-home booty workouts, my at-home core strengthening workouts, and you also get a resistance band and a skipping rope. All right. How does that sound? What do people think? What's the better option there? Option 1 or option number 2? Type it in the chat. And this may seem like a lot of work. It's not. It's a little bit of work, but it's not. And I'll break through how to do that really quick, right? But it also gets better as well, okay? Because not only with that stuff there, I also recommend putting something like this. Every week, do something fun. In week 1, it's the Get to Know You challenge. In week 2, it's the recipe sharing challenge. In week 3, it's the smoothie and shake sharing challenge. In week 4, it's our first excursion. We'll go rock climbing or stand-up paddleboarding or pole dancing, whatever it may be. Week 5, we're going to do the no sugar challenge. Week 6, we're going to do a bring a friend week. And then if your friends want to sign up, they can continue on for the remainder of the challenge as well. Week 7, we'll do a hydration challenge. Week 8, we'll do our second excursion. So, you know, one of those fun runs, or if we didn't go stand-up paddleboarding, we'll go stand-up paddleboarding. Week 9, we'll do our planking challenge. Week 10, we'll do our squatting challenge. Week 11, we'll do our sleeping challenge. Week 12, we'll have our end of party celebration. All right? Way better offer. All right? Would everyone agree with that? If you can just have those two things there, it's just little tiny things that don't really take any extra work. They're the kind of stuff that you do once, or your client does most of the work, and then you never have to do them again. Okay? Now, I'm going to break through these one by one to show you that it's actually quite simple. Because does this overwhelm anyone? Comment down in the chat box and let me know, does anyone look at this and get overwhelmed? Where it's like, man, that's just so much work. That's going to take me forever to put together. Type yes or no and let me know if you feel like that. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So let me break down a couple of these and show, yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it looks like a bit of a mix. Some people looks like it's a bit of work. Some people not really. And actually I'll ask the question again. Does anyone already have some of this stuff? If you do, type the things you have in the chat. But let me break down through some of these. And yeah, a lot of people are kind of saying in there, you know, once you've got it set up, it's not too much work. Let me break these down one by one. I prefer, off the bat, I don't like charging per session, you know, $10 per session. I'll much prefer to say, hey, it's $50 a week and you get 6 sessions a week. It still ends up being about $10 a session, but it works better because I'm sure we've all been in situations before where it's like, you know, a client will say they're going to come to 3 sessions or 4 sessions, but they come to 1 or 0, and then we don't quite get the revenue as the trainer, but we're still putting in the work. We're still running the sessions. We're probably texting them. We're supporting them on social media. This way here, it puts it more in our favor. So it's like, right, you know, it's $50 and you can tend to get 6 sessions or as many sessions as you want. Okay. When I first put this together, though, I felt a little bit bad because I'm like, oh, look, it makes sense in theory, but it's kind of like, what if people don't come to 6 sessions? You know, are they still going to be happy paying? Does anyone have that fear? Type in the box and let me know. That's why I put all this other stuff together. And I was like, look, my goal is to give my clients so much value so it's worth the $50 a week, even if they don't come to a session. That's why I want all these extras here. I want someone to be like, you know what? I paid $50 a week. I didn't come to these sessions, but I've got all this other stuff, so it's awesome. Let's break these down one by one. Let's start with the home workout program. The easiest way to do that is just to drip it. You don't need to come up with a 12-week workout program today before your boot camp starts. You can simply just every week, you might have a closed Facebook group where your clients are. Every week, you might just post a workout in there. Hey guys, you know, if you can't make the session today or this week, here's your home workout that I want you to do. Right? And if you just do that every week for 12 weeks, at the end of the 12 weeks, you got your home workout program, right? The gym workout program, you know, you can give everyone the same one. Hey guys, if you're a member of a gym, here's a really good upper body program you can do, and here's a really good lower body program you can do. Go off and do them. If you can't do any of the exercises, let me know and I can help them. Super easy, right? The basic nutrition guidelines. But does everyone know how to put together an ebook? Just type yes or no down in the chat box. Let me know if you know how to put together an ebook. If you don't, it's super easy. Like the easiest thing you can do is just open a Microsoft Word document, press save as PDF. There's your ebook. That's all an ebook is. It's literally just a Microsoft Word document saved as a PDF, right? And if we use some of these examples that I've got there, has everyone done a Facebook post? How to eat healthy on a budget? Has everyone done a Facebook post on that? Comment yes or no and let me know. Or if you haven't, could you pretty easily put one together now and give all your clients some tips on how to eat healthy as on a budget? There you go. You know, put that in a Microsoft Word document, save it as a PDF. It's now an ebook. All right. How to eat healthy when going out. Same thing. Has everyone done a Facebook post on that before? Or could everyone give their clients at least a few basic tips that they could do for that? And then you save it as a PDF. There's your ebook. Right. Clean eating recipe ebook and clean eating smoothie and shake ebook. Here's my favorite way. Here's how I put these together. So I suck in the kitchen. I'm a really, really bad cook. I literally have the same thing for breakfast and lunch, you know, every single day, right? So the easiest way I find to put together ebooks is via the challenges. So if you have a look through here, in week 2, I do the recipe sharing challenge. Essentially what that is I just tell my clients, right? Hey guys, this week is the recipe sharing challenge. What I want you to do is post a recipe in Facebook. Just take a photo of something you cook that's healthy and post the recipe in Facebook. I'll collate all those recipes together and I'll put them together as an ebook. And then everyone in this group gets a copy of the ebook. Okay. Does that make sense how I did that? Just comment yes or no down below and let me know. And what I'd recommend everyone do is take a screenshot of that there. You don't need to use this exact same system that I've got there, but just so this can give you some ideas, everyone take a screenshot of that. I'm going to move on to the challenges in a sec, but I just want to give everyone a second to make sure you've got that there. Okay. Let's go through, let's just spend a minute on these challenges here. Now, ideally, the way the challenges work, I also like to use these in a closed Facebook group as well. I also want these to be as little work for me as possible, and I want my clients to basically do the work here because it's kind of for their benefit. So most of my challenges are one of two things. It's either like the recipe sharing challenge kind of thing, or the smoothie and shake sharing challenge kind of thing, where my clients will have to post something in a Facebook group, or the other thing is like the accountability ones. So like the no sugar challenge or the hydration challenge. They're things like, I'll use the no sugar challenge as an example. What I would say to my clients there is, hey, for this week, what I want you to do is track how much sugar you have. Download MyFitnessPal, just track everything you eat for 1 week. It's only for a week, a bit of fun, just to give a bit of an indication. And at the end of each day, I just want you to post how much grams of sugar you had that day, just to keep you accountable there. Okay. And what that's doing is keeping my clients accountable outside of the session. Okay. Does that make sense? Take a screenshot of those challenges as well, if you like. I'm going to move on to the next component here. Does anyone have, just before I move on, does anyone have any questions in regards to the challenge at all? I'll give you 5 seconds to type it in here. Any questions in regards to the challenges, or even in any of those specific challenges there, if you want me to break through any of those? Just type no if you're good, and I'll move on from there. Yeah, 100%, right? They're all like super simple. And the key to the challenge as well is like more just buy-in from your participants. So the challenge is kind of like one part to it, but ideally what you want is your participants to actually engage in it there. Awesome. So I'll just go, so the previous screenshot, Stacey, Jillian, if you want to take a screenshot there, take it there. So Stacey, what I do is every like 4 weeks or so, I'll take my client, or me and my clients as a group. Good question, Michael. I'll get to that in a sec. So let me just get to, okay, so Stacey says, what is the second excursion? So every 4 weeks, like what I do is take my clients somewhere fun. It might be stand-up paddleboarding. It might be rock climbing. It might be a beach session. It might be pole dancing, just somewhere that's, it might be a fun run, Tough Mudder, City to Surf, like something that, and let's get some participant from people in the chat as well. Has anyone done something really cool with their group or their clients, like outside of the session, something that's active but fun, but isn't like a boot camp? Type it in the chat because that will be really good to give us some feedback as well. So Michael's asked a really good question. Do we need a nutrition qualification to provide a recipe ebook, or do you know sugar challenge? So what you can do, so the best thing to do is go on the OS Active scope of practice, and that'll say exactly what you can and can't do. That's within your scope of practice. But in a nutshell, you can do anything that's consistent with the national guidelines or that's considered basic healthy eating. Now, recipe ebook, you're not giving someone a meal plan. You're just saying, hey, here's a bunch of recipes to choose from. The no sugar challenge, now the name might be confusing. You're not saying don't have sugar. You're essentially just saying, hey, track how much sugar you have. Okay. Does that make sense, Michael? Comment below and let me know. Now I want to, and here's some other options here: Tough Mudder, zip lining, strongman event, a hands night theme session. Yep, general is okay. And the best thing to do, go on the OS Active guidelines. They've got a full document which basically says this is what you can say and this is what you can't say. Yeah, Luke's got it down there in the chat box there. There's a full document and it's really, really good. All right. Anyway, let's move on and talk about the product, because what I mentioned above, it looks really good, but really it's more just a sales tool than anything. All right. What we want to make sure is once someone signs up, we give them a really, really good experience. And yes, the challenges are going to help. You've got a Facebook group, there's interaction in there, all that's really, really good. But our major product is like our actual boot camp. So we need to make sure that that's a really, really good experience. Now, I'm just going to share a few things I do here. I like to work on a 12-week plan. There's many different advantages to do it, but let's just look at it from the workout side of things. Now, I'm a huge fan of warm-up games or fitness games for boot camp. Anyone else a fan? Comment down below and let me know. I like them because they're fun. They get people interacting. They get people getting to know each other. But here's the thing. If you do them too often, or if you do the same game too often, it can get a bit boring. Would everyone agree with that? If it's new and it's fun, it's exciting. But if you do the same thing over and over again, it can get a little boring and it takes the fun away from it. So what I like to do is I've got many different games. I'm just going to simplify it. Oh, and by the way, this is all in the free course as well. So if you join the Facebook group, you'll get access to all these games here. But what I like to do is I've got 12 different games and I play each game for that week. So say week 1, I'll play the numbers game. Week 2, I'll play scissors, paper, rock. Week 3, I'll play the towel circle game. Week 4, hills and hollows, etc., etc., etc. I'll do that for 12 weeks. And then when it comes to week 13, I just start back up the top again because it's been 12 weeks since someone's played in the numbers game. I'm going to have new participants in there. It's going to be people have forgotten that name before they were, forgotten that game 12 weeks ago, or they liked it 12 weeks ago and they want to play it again. All right. That's the best way I find to do it. And also I find it's okay to play the same game 3 or 4 times a week because it's like not everyone's training every day anyway. And you might come on Monday and then you miss Tuesday and then you come again on Wednesday. So you're only really playing that game twice. And then on top of that, it's almost better the second time you do it because the first time, like, you got to explain it. People don't know the rules. They make some mistakes. At least when you do it the second or third time, it's straight into it. Okay. Does that make sense with warm-up games? Take a screenshot of that. If you want to take a screenshot of that. On top of that, this is all in the free course as well. Okay. Now, I'm also a fan of finishes, okay, like drills to music or core strengthening drills or, partner finishes. I'm a huge fan of that as well. What's everyone else's opinion? Who else is a fan of this sort of stuff as well? Comment yes in the channel, let me know. And look, it's the same kind of thing as bootcamp games where they're a lot of fun, but if you overdo them, like they get boring and people already know them. Like half the fun of finishes are that people don't know what to expect. All right. So I use the same system here as well. I have 12 different finishes. I do one a week every week, and then the next week I move on to the next one, and then 12 weeks later I just repeat it again. 12 weeks later, I've got new clients. People have forgotten about the drill, or they did it last time and they want to do it again. It's exactly the same theory as like the fitness game side of things as well, right? And my favorite are the drills to music. Has everyone comment down below in the chat box? What's your favorite drill to music? My favorite one is definitely the chain smokers down. Has anyone done the chain smokers down? This stuff, I believe, is in the fitness, in the games course as well. Yeah, Sally Up, another good one as well. The Sally song, yeah. I think Bring Sally Up is like the most popular one. No, I like it, but I like some of the other ones as well, Who Let the Dogs Out, the Chain Smokers, the Nut Bush Plank, the Cha-Cha Slide. Oh, Thunderstruck, yep, that's a good one. The Cha-Cha Slide, yep, that's another good one as well. Thunderstruck, yep, all good ones there. Now, Nut Bush Plank, yep, great. Now with the workouts, I do something similar as well. Now I want to spend a minute here because what I've found a lot of bootcamp instructors do is they overdo circuits and Tabatas, right? It's like a circuit Tabata, circuit Tabata, circuit Tabata. Now I love circuits and Tabatas, but they can get quite monotonous if that's all you do there. Even if you change up the exercises, the timing, that's better, but it's still a lot of the same kind of thing. So I've got 24 different workout styles that I like using that are all completely different. Like an AMRAP is different to an accumulator, which is different to a 10-to-1, which is different to the Beyonce workout, which is different to the Matrix workout, which is different to the trap workout, which is different to the phone number workout, yada, yada, yada. Now, I'll still use different exercises and different pieces of equipment, but can everyone see how each workout session in there is a completely different style to the next one there? All right. And then similar to the other ones, I'll repeat it again, 6 weeks later in this circumstance. But when I repeat it, it'll be slightly different. So the AMRAP I do in week 1 will be a different AMRAP to what I do in week 7. The beach session that I do in week 3 will be a different beach session to what I do in week 9 or week 10 or whatever it is. Okay. Does that make sense there? The variety in bootcamp workouts. Just take a screenshot of that if you want as well. I want to move on to the sales and marketing. Before I do that, does anyone have any questions in regards to like the workouts, the games, or the drills? I'll give you a minute to ask those questions there. And if there's no questions there, I'm going to move on and speak about the sales and the marketing. Beyonce, that's a good question. What's the Beyonce workout? So when you back to warm up. So, okay, there's the warm up games there, Stacey. So generally he's asked a good question. What's the Beyonce? Actually, does anyone want to take a guess? Someone type in the chat box. What do you think the Beyonce workout is? Type in the, yeah, exactly. But, you know, or even to be fair, my Beyonce workout is just leg day. All right. But I think it's so much more fun because also most of my clients are usually women as well. That's a good question by Cree as well, and I'll cover that too. Okay, cool. So there's a few questions coming through here. Let me cover these quickly, and then I'll move on to the sales and the marketing. So the Beyonce is essentially just leg day, but in my opinion, like leg day is boring. You know, it's like, hey guys, guess what? We're doing leg day today. I mean, it's okay, but it's more fun. Like what I do on Beyonce days, I'll go in my Facebook group, I'll post a photo of like Beyonce, and I'll be like, hey, guess what, guys? You know, I'm actually friends with Beyonce's trainer, and he leads me her workout. So we're all going to do the Beyonce workout today. And it's just my normal lower body workout anyway, but I'll play all Beyonce music and I just make it a bit of fun, right? It's all, I just want to make the sessions as fun as possible. Does that make sense generally? Let me know. So Coach Cree says, what's the best time in the session to run a day? There's 3 good times to run a session. They're going to vary slightly depending on whereabouts you are and kind of how close you are to the city center. But 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., and 6:30 p.m. I might even type them down in the chat just so they're written down. So either 6 a.m., 9:30 a.m., or 6:30 p.m. Okay. The 6 a.m. usually gets the before work crowd. The 9:30 a.m. usually gets the school drop-off parent mum crowd. The 6:30 p.m. gets the after work crowd. Okay, it's going to vary slightly. I'm going to use myself as an example. I live in Sydney, and I know most people, or a lot of people in here said they were from Sydney as well. The closer you are to the city, the later you can have that session. The further away, the earlier you have it. So let's say I live in the Sutherland Shire, and I work, and a lot of people might work in the city that live in the Shire. You might have to make your workout a little bit earlier, 5:30 a.m., 5:45 p.m. Right? Let's say you live in Redfern or Surrey Hills or whatever, and that's where you're running the boot camp. You can run it a little bit later, 6:30 a.m. Okay. Does that make sense with time? Use those 3 indications as your go-to times. But if you live like closer or further away to the city, you might have to change it slightly. How long are the boot camps? So 45 minutes to 60 minutes. I usually wrap up in about 40. I've got my main work. The warm up and the workout is done in 45 minutes. And then I'll do like the finishes for the last 15 minutes. So that way, if anyone needs to get out of there early, they can get out of there earlier. The 12 cones. Yeah. So, okay. So there's a lot of good questions coming through here. The 12 cones, it's a little hard to explain, but it's kind of like, it would look something like this. All right. The workout is 1 squat jump. Then you're going to do 1 squat jump and 2 push-ups. Then you're going to do 1 squat jump, 2 push-ups, and 3 sit-ups. Now you're going to do 1 squat jump, 2 push-ups, 3 sit-ups, and 4 shuttle runs, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Yeah. Messina, I do the same thing on repeat because it's kind of like people forget in 12 weeks' time anyway. So it's like all those challenges and whatever, like 12 weeks later, most people have forgotten about them. Most people come just for the workout here as well. I don't do the boot camp workout with them, Linda, unless it's something special, you know, unless it's, only 4 times a year. David's hit it on the head. You know, and most like, I don't know about you guys, I can't remember what workout I did yesterday. You know, no one's remembering 12 weeks down the track. Right. Is everyone cool if I move on to sales and marketing? And I'll spend the rest of the session here on sales and marketing because in my opinion, this is the most important, all right? Because it's kind of like you can have a great offer, you can be the best bootcamp instructor in the world, but if you're not good at sales and marketing and no one knows about you, you're sitting alone in the park doing push-ups, all right? Would everyone agree with that? You can be the best bootcamp instructor, have the best offer, but if no one knows about you, you're sitting alone in the park doing push-ups. So we're going to have to we want to spend some time here on sales and marketing. Now, sad image, yeah, it is, but it's true, right? Now, I also want to make a differentiation between sales and marketing, because a lot of trainers, a lot of bootcamp instructors will kind of put them in the one kind of, yeah, Louise said, been there, done that. So have I, Louise. I was 75. Imagine what I was like. So I want to differentiate between sales and marketing, right? So marketing, and these are, everyone's got their own kind of definition. This is the most simplistic and the best one I find for personal trainers and bootcamp instructors. Marketing is getting in front of new people. Sales is making offers to people that already know you, right? Now, those two things are worlds apart. In my experience, a lot of personal trainers spend a lot of time on the sales component. You know, they'll post on their Facebook, they'll post on their Instagram, they'll, you know, tell their friends, they'll do really good at that sales side of things, but they don't really do a lot of work in terms of getting in front of new people, the marketing. Would everyone agree with that? Would everyone say that they spend more time kind of getting in front of people that already know them as opposed to meeting new people? Just comment yes or no down in the chat. Let me know. Yeah, 100%. That's most people, right? And we'll do a little bit of I've got a table here, but we're a little bit short on time. So I might just kind of skip this, but we'll even do it like, oh no, you know what? Let's quickly do it here. So everyone just give me some example. Yeah, cool. Well, let's just do some brainstorming. I'll give you some ideas in a sec, so it doesn't matter if we don't come up with a heap here. Can everyone give me some examples of marketing activities? Right? So not sales stuff, not people that already know us. So let's get rid of things like posting on our Facebook, posting on our Instagram, because those people already know us. Can everyone just type some marketing stuff in a chat? Right? Yeah, Stephanie says, I need to market more to people I know. Yeah, flyers as an example, Luke. So broadcast messaging or emails. Nia, that would probably be more sales, because those people probably already know us, right? Because they've already given us their emails. Flyer drops in letterbox, yep. Local newspaper, advertising boards. Bring a friend is a good one. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and look, there's some really good ones here going on, and a lot of them are tough though, right? Like, you know, letterbox drops, cold calling, you know, flyers, like good stuff, but it's a lot of work. Like with social media these days, it's a day or cook, hanging out in a coffee shop in uniform. Yep. Really good here. What I'm going to cover here is social media. Like I find the easiest way to do it is social media in today's environment, right? But we got to do it in a very specific way. Now, when it comes to social media, and I'm going to speak mainly about Facebook because it's all we kind of got time for. If we can do paid marketing and we can do free marketing, right? What's important on Facebook is that you do them in the right place. So paid marketing, you need to use your Facebook business page. You can't use a personal profile, a group, or anything like that. Organic marketing, you want to use your personal Facebook profile. If you're just posting on your Facebook business page, hardly anyone is going to see that. Okay? What's important here is that you don't get stuck in the middle. This is what I see with a lot of trainers as well, where they'll be like, yeah, Jono, I'm posting on Facebook, but no one's seeing it. And I'm like, well, you're using your business page or your personal profile? They'll be like, oh, I'm using my business page. And I'm like, oh, you got to spend money on advertising if you want to use your business page. They're like, oh, I don't want to spend money on advertising. I'm like, that's fine, but then you got to post on your personal profile. And they'll be like, oh, but I don't want to use my personal profile for business. Well, you got to pick one or the other. Okay, and I just want to, is everyone clear on that? Just comment yes down below and let me know. By the way, guys, I'm just recovering from COVID. So I'm starting to get a little bit out of breath and my throat's a little sore, but I got my water here. All right, so most people agree with that. Yeah, so Anne said, is that why a lot of people share business page on personal profile? Bang on. Because if you just post it on your business profile, hardly anyone's going to see it, right? You're best off sharing it on your personal or even just posting straight on your personal. That actually works better, right? Awesome. All right. Now let's spend a minute on both free and paid, right? Because they both kind of work. And let me ask that question as well. What do people prefer, free or paid? Comment down below in the chat box and let me know. In terms of marketing, Instagram doesn't matter too much, Mary. So Instagram, you can have a business page or a personal, doesn't matter. So it looks like we got mainly free with a little bit of paid. All right, cool. So I'll jump over paid and I'll probably spend most of the time on free. Very little budget. Yeah, awesome. All right, cool. So let me run through a couple of things here. I'm going to start with paid, then we'll move on to free. So here's the system I recommend using if doing paid marketing. I recommend your budget should be the cost of one person. Here I've said $500 because I recommend charging $50 a week for about 12 weeks, give or take. It might be $40, it might be $50, whatever. So about $500. So I recommend you spend $500 on ads. All right. Now let me get everyone's opinion there. Would everyone say that's a lot? Do you think that's a lot of money? Yes or no? Type in the chat box and let me know. Spending $500 on ads, would you say a lot of money? So yes, no, no. Okay, cool. So a bit of a mixture. Yeah, all right, cool. So yeah, exactly. And a few people have hit the number on the head there. It kind of depends, like, well, how much do I get back? That's the real question. If you're spending $500 and you're getting zero back, well, that's a lot of money to lose. But if you're spending $500 on ads and you're getting more than that back, then it's pretty good. So, and this is what, same as doing courses, exactly. And here's what I recommend here is measure the ROI. And here's how I do it, right? The system that we use at Fitness Education Online, bang on. And I'll give you some stats here, right? If you spend $500 on ads, you should get about 50 inquiries. Now, let me ask that question again. Is that a pretty good result? If you spent $500 on ads and you got 50 inquiries, would you be happy with that? Type yes or no. Okay, a lot of yeses here. And I sort of agree, but I'd still say it depends on how many of those 50 sign up, right? Because keep in mind, these people might just be hearing about you for the first time. So with Facebook ads, it's not always the hottest leads. It's a good way to get, well, here's the thing, right? I've been doing Facebook ads for a long time. This is the system that I use. So I'm not saying anybody could just set up a Facebook ad and do this kind of stuff here. If you use the system that I use or that I teach, these are the results that you'll get here. And what I find is the close rate is about 10 to 20%, right? Which will mean about 5 to 10 clients will sign up. Now, let's have a look here. If I got one person, Mary's got, and that's why I use the one person. Mary said, if I got one person, it's paid for itself, but now I've got more people here for me. But it's even better than that as well. And I'll share a couple of reasons why. But this is what it essentially should look like. So you're basically putting $500 in, and worst case scenario, you're getting $2,500 back. That's why I've got the photo of the vending machine there. It should basically be like you put $1 in a vending machine and you get $2 or $3 back. And then you just keep repeating that process there, okay? Would everyone be happy with that kind of result? Just comment yes or no down below if you'd be happy with that. $500 in, 50 inquiries, 5, 10 leads. Yeah, cool. But it actually gets better than that, right? Roger said, where can I find that vending machine? It's Facebook. You know where you can find it? If you do our bootcamp course and follow the social media strategy, that's where you find it, right? But it actually gets a little bit better than this, all right? Because firstly, it'll actually be more than that on the front end, right? Because when we're saying you're making $500 back, Pixels Roger, exactly. When you're making $500 back, ideally those people are going to stay with you for longer than just the first 12 weeks, right? I've done the stats with Bootcamp. This is a good question, actually. I've done these stats. Let me get everyone's opinion here. How long do you think the average person stays at a bootcamp for? The average person stays at one bootcamp. And this is obviously some people leave straight away, some people stay for years, but the average. Comment down below and let me know. Okay, so 6 months, 10 sessions, 6 months, 12 months, 7 months. Yeah, not too bad. 12 weeks, 9 months, right? 9 months is the average for the one person to stay at the bootcamp. So most people are kind of on there. But the best part is actually those 40 to 45 people that didn't sign up. Because just because they didn't sign up with you today doesn't mean they're never going to sign up, right? Most people won't sign up with you the first time they hear from you. It takes them a while to get to know you, like you, trust you. Maybe they're not ready. Maybe they're just doing some research, right? But you want those 40 to 45 people that didn't sign up on your Facebook, on your email list, on your Instagram, so then you can market to them forever for free. Does that make sense? Comment yes or no and let me know. I'm going to move on to organic from here, but if you've got any questions with Facebook ads, comment them down there now. And here's just some testimonials from some of the students that have done our system here. Here's Carissa. We ran her ad for her. She'd been running it for 3 days and she got 55 leads. More leads in 3 days than the past year. Here's Felix. She spent $300 on Facebook ads. She got 40 leads and converted 7 of them into clients, bringing in over $2,000. Renee here spent $195, got 82 leads. Here's the other thing as well. It depends on the area you are, right? Unfortunately, the bigger the city you live in, the more competitive, the harder it is. The more regional or rural you live, the easier it is there. Renee lived in a rural kind of area. Anyway, same kind of system. $200 in, 82 leads, 7 people joined the challenge, 22 in the Facebook group there. Okay, so that's paid Facebook ads. Now let's move on to organic, because some people prefer organic, right? The easiest way to get in front of new people, so obviously you can post on your own personal profile, and I recommend doing that. But if you want to get in front of new people, the easiest way to do that is via local Facebook groups, right? You've usually got 3 different types of groups. You've got like the mums groups or the parents groups. You've got like the buy, swap, and sell freebie group, and you've got the everything group, right? In my experience, the parents group is the best. I've just typed in St. George there. That's where I live. Does everyone know where St. George is? Comment down below in the chat and let me know. If you don't, you might know them because they've actually got the best football team in the world, the best rugby league team in the world. They win it like every year all the time, and they've got all the best players. So if you don't support rugby league, feel free to start supporting St. George. Yeah, because they're the most popular. Everyone loves them, Yeah. So, you've got those kind of 3 groups there. I find the parents group or the mums groups are the best, right? Sometimes I find the everything groups and the buy, swap, and sell, they're just too salesy. Does everyone else find that? Like the mums groups and the parents groups are pretty good, but the other groups are just after a bank. Whatever. They've got the record for most years in a run. But anyway, enough about rugby league. Let's get back to organic marketing. So I find the best groups are the parents groups, all right? Now, actually, I'll ask a question here. Is everyone in your local groups? If you're not, go and join, because they're the best way to get in front of new people. I'm a bit short on time, so I'll just run through these strategies in kind of 5 minutes here. But firstly, just join these Facebook groups here. Now, here's what not to do. And I've just screenshotted these. I just went on just beforehand, right? Here's what most people do in these local groups is they just go and promote their business. Hey, new dance classes available, hey, new pram cleaning stuff available. It's just too salesy. And most people just scroll straight past this. Would everyone agree with that? Type yes in the chat box. If you see something that just looks like a straight up ad, you usually just scroll past it. Yeah, 100%, right? Here's my theory when it comes to life, but also marketing, and especially online, right? And I'd love to get everyone's opinion on this. This is by a guy, Dale Carnegie. He authored a really famous book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm sure a lot of people in here have read it, but here's his quote. You can get more clients in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Who agrees with that? Comment yes down below and let me know if you agree with that. That's my whole marketing strategy. I don't just want to go out there and me. I want to be interested in other people so then they come to me, right? So how do we do this in like local Facebook groups? There's a few different things. Let me break through them one by one. The easiest one, yeah, exactly. People like talking about themselves. You've read the book, right, Mary? Yeah, bang on, Sean. Comment on posts, right? Just be a good member of the community. Here are the kind of questions that you get. Hey, does anyone know any meeting rooms? Hey, I need a GP. Does anyone know any good restaurants, right? These are the questions that are any local cake makers, right? These are the kind of questions that people ask. Like probably the best marketing strategy you can do is just spend 5-10 minutes a week. Maybe you pick a day. Every Monday, I'm just going to go in this group and scroll past and answer some of the questions here, right? Let me just take a sip of water. And there's a few reasons why this works so well. Firstly, just the algorithm. Like if you go and post in a group that you've never posted in before, you've never liked anyone's thing, you've never commented, nobody's going to see it. It might not even be a bad post, it's just no one's seen it. But if you're interacting in that group and you've got friends and you've liked and you've commented, people are actually going to see what you post. On top of that, it's just straight networking, right? It's kind of like if you help someone else out, they're going to help you out, right? So awesome. Yeah. So Mary, oh, okay, well, all right. Well, hey, Mary, definitely join like the parents group or the mums group. That's a really good thing there. But just by networking with people, right? Just by answering their questions, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? Who is this guy? Let me check out his profile. Oh, he's a personal trainer. I need to get fit myself. Let me email him. Let me contact him. Let me call him. Let me add him as a friend, whatever it may be, right? Or when you do your promotion post, if you've spent a week or two helping other people out, they're going to help you out. They're going to be like, oh, wow, you know, this person helped me find a cake store or whatever. I'm going to like his thing or comment or tag someone or whatever it may be. And it also works the other way as well, referrals. Like I'm going to ask some questions here. Does everybody know a local physiotherapist in their area? Type yes or no and let me know. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Okay. If you don't, I recommend finding someone. Now, let me ask you a question. If you constantly referred business to that physiotherapist, are they going to be more likely to refer you business back? Yes or no? 100%, right? So the more kind of business you recommend other people, the more that's going to come back your way as well. Okay, that's why the answer works. So that's one thing you can do. But if you just answer questions, yeah, you're going to get a little bit of business. But what will actually work better is if you ask questions, right? So instead of just saying, hey, here's my bootcamp, come and sign up, you might do things like this. A freebie works really well. You know, hey guys, remedial massage is another good one. You know, but you might post something like this. Hey guys, just created a clean eating recipe ebook, the 50 healthy recipes. If you'd like a comment, just comment below and I'll send it over, right? Is that going to get a lot of comments? Yes or no? Comment down, let me know. If you did that in your local Facebook group, everyone's commenting on that, right? And then obviously you'll collect their email address. They might add you as a friend. They'll see your post. You're building your network, right? And I'll actually tell you the best one of these I've ever seen. Right? I told one of my clients to do this, and she did a Facebook post. I can't remember it word for word, but it was something like this. It was like, hey guys, I've been a personal trainer for 10 years now, and I've created an ebook of the 100 most questions my clients ask me. Things like, you know, how to lose weight from my triceps, how to eat healthy on a budget, how to eat healthy when going out, healthy recipes for the whole family. Who'd like a copy of this? And she got like 100 people comment down on that. Okay. But can everyone see how asking questions like that will probably get you more clients than just posting about your services, right? And even if you are going to post about your service, what looks better is something like this. Hey people, local personal trainer here, thinking of starting a mums and bums type bootcamp. Would anyone be interested in joining? Right? Asking that question is going to get a lot more engagement than just posting. Okay? Does it make sense? All right. Let me give the final strategy, which is the testimonial strategy, because there's only so much you can post yourself, right? Ideally, what you want is other people promoting you for you, right? Now, here's an example here. You know, anyone recommends a good, affordable personal trainer near Cogra? And if you look at some of the things, you know, Chris Sturgis, you know, I agree, the one and only Chris Sturgis, right? Because like Chris could go in that post and Chris could say, you know, hey guys, I'm a local personal trainer. But would everyone agree that it's way better if other people are commenting for you, right? If you go and talk yourself up, it's kind of like, well, of course, like it's your own business, of course you want to, right? But if you go in a group and there's 2, 3, 4 other people promoting you, that's going to look better, right? Now, there's a few different ways we can do this. Ideally, you want your clients in those groups as well. So if anyone asks a question, your clients can tag you. Yeah, 100%. There's a few other things as well, right? And actually, so let me think how to explain this. So, and this can be done in 2 different ways. This can either be done like in a local Facebook group. You can ask one of your clients, because you can also get them to post a testimonial. I'll give you a formula that I recommend as well. But like you can do this in like a local Facebook group, or your client can just post it on their Facebook. Obviously, not everyone's going to do it. Some will, some won't, but there's going to be a percentage of your clients that do. Now, if I just shared a testimonial of my client, yeah, that's all right, but it's not getting in front of new people. If my client posts that testimonial, all his or her or their friends are going to see it. Does that make sense what I'm saying there? How it's more important that they post it than you, right? Here's the formula that I recommend using, okay? Because like there's different levels of testimonials. You know, you see some testimonials and they're just like, Jono is good, train with Jono, you know, best in the business. Like they don't really mean anything. Here's the formula I recommend using. Ask your clients want to essentially say how long they've been training with you for, what sort of results they've seen, what do they like most about training with you, and who do you recommend should train with in that circumstance there. Everyone take a screenshot of that because that's how I recommend you get your testimonials, and you may or may not be able to see that, and ideally with a photo of the person as well, because a photo just makes it more powerful, and it doesn't even need to be a before and after. Like I've just taken that screenshot randomly on the right there, but that's a good photo, right? It doesn't need to be a before and after. It may, and that's got its advantage as well, but even just seeing someone there smiling adds that personality to it. Would everyone agree with that? Type yes and let me know if you agree. And yeah, this is what the testimonial will look like. Something like this, you know, I've been training with Jono for 12 weeks now. Not only do I feel a lot fitter and have way more energy, but I've also lost 4 kilos. I love training with Jono because he makes sessions so fun and enjoyable. If you're looking for a trainer in the Cogra area, I definitely recommend Jono. Is that a good testimonial? Yes or no? Yeah, it works so well. And it's also easier for the client because, you know, it can be a little bit awkward for the client. If they're like, oh, I don't know what to say, you know, what's appropriate, what's not appropriate. This just takes all that, yeah, exactly. You're almost crafting the perfect testimonial for them, right? I'll go back again and show you those questions. Screenshot those if you have it. We're a bit short on time. I've got about 5 minutes, so we might just start. Does anyone have any questions with anything I've covered there? Type them down below now. Let me know if you've got any questions. If you don't have any questions, is everyone cool if I give you the quick rundown on our bootcamp program, the CEC course, and what's included? Just type yes. If you've got any questions, type the questions. If you don't have any questions, just type yes if you're cool if I give you the quick rundown on the bootcamp course. Yeah, awesome, cool. I'll go through it because I've actually put together a special just for you people. Oh, yeah. Has everyone had fun on this? Just type yes or no and let me know if you've had fun. Yeah, awesome. Has everyone learned something? Comment down below and let me know if you've learned something. Yeah, cool. Dale's asked a good question there. Dale, I only run a boot camp at a school hall. At a school hall or if it's an outdoor venue, it's got to have an undercover area. Otherwise, I don't run. Okay. So let me run through. This is a special just for the people on this webinar, right? You can't get this on our website or anything like that. It's our Bootcamp CEC course. It's a level 1 course, which is 12 CECs, usually $300. A level 2 course, 11 CECs, usually $300. And that covers basically everything we went in this webinar, but in more detail. The sales, the marketing, the workouts, the offers, the challenges, everything you need to run a successful bootcamp is in there, right? Total value, a little bit under $600. Special for everyone on this webinar here, $397. All right, that's the link down there. Is that a good URL as well or what? I bought the URL fitnesscecs.com, but I'll put the link down in the chat if you want to do that. And I'm going to sweeten the deal a little bit as well. All right, so if you want to register on this webinar, not only do you get that sweet deal, I'm also going to add in our social media courses. All right. Yeah. Dinner with Jono. I think that's a disadvantage. I'll probably have to pay you to do a dinner with me. But I'll also add in our social media courses as well. So I've got a level 1 and level 2. They're usually $300 each. I'll add them in for free with the bootcamp. Okay. So if you want to, so I'm having a look at Neha here. I am running out of ideas for my outdoor. We've got a course on that as well, Neha. Let me finish this and then I'll answer that question there. But essentially, if you want to register today, just go via that link there and you get the bootcamp course, the social media course. It's like 46 CECs or something for $397. Yep. So Kate, these are 100% online, right? You can self-pace. You can take as long as you like, go as slow as you like. There's no expiry. All right. So I'll put the link down there. So Nia, we've got a boxing course as well. You can do that. I can add it on this package if you want, or even if you join our Facebook group, I do like a live boxing workout in there every week as well. So you'll get some ideas from there. Okay. But all right, so that's pretty much all I wanted to get through, people. If you're interested in the special, just go via that link there. Yeah, awesome to hear, Ozgy. Everyone else, if you're awesome. Yeah, cool. So everyone else, if you've got any questions, just comment them down below. If you're not in the Facebook group, make sure to join the Facebook group. I've put the link just there in the chat as well. I'll accept you after this. Mary, what did you say, Mary? So I can connect your hash at the end. So I don't understand that question there, Mary. How long? So Jenny, this is like a kind of this webinar only kind of thing, you know. So yeah, ideally now I can hold it. When did you want to sign up, Jenny? It's meant to be just for now, but I can probably hold it a little bit longer if you need to. All right. Did you send proof of CEC to us active? Can I connect to you on the link you gave us? Yeah. Join that Facebook group, Mary, and you can join my my thing in there. So I think that's it for me, people. Luke, you're still around? Do you want to jump in? Do you do level 1 and level 2? So Lana said, do you do level 1 and level 2? You can just do level 1 if you want, but at that price there, it's kind of like you may as well just do the 2. You know, how do you claim CECs? Luke will help you with the C. You're saying off this webinar, right, Rob? Not off the actual.
I think I saw another question about that as well. So yeah, the CEC will just be added automatically for today. So there'll be a little short feedback survey that will pop up after for everyone. So if you guys can just all complete that, and then I'll add the CEC for you all later tonight.
Awesome. All right. Luke, anything I finish up on my end, or what do we do?
No, all good for round. So thank you for coming along, Jono, as well. That was fantastic. And I know that from that package, I mean, that's a sort of fantastic qualifier as well. So we definitely encourage people to jump on that and to get in touch with you guys about any other courses as well that you're interested in doing. But yeah, thank you so much again. And yeah, any closing words from yourself?
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Just one more question, people in the chat. Who's coming to Filex? Comment down and let me know who's coming to Filex.
Yeah, we'll be there as well.
I'm going to be there. Luke's going to be there. No. Virtually, all right. Yeah, we got a few people in there watching the Storm. No, I prefer watching teams that win, Roger, so I probably won't watch the Storm. Right, yeah, those of you that are coming to Filex, I'll make sure to come and say hello.
Yeah, hopefully see you guys all on the weekend. No worries. All good?
Awesome. All right,
Perfect.
see you guys.
No worries. Thanks, guys. Cheers.